What's up, guys? Long overdue update. I know, been very busy recently and haven't got to work on the truck as much as I've wanted to, but I have been working on the truck. Look, it's black now. In this video, we're gonna run and go get some hot rod parts and also explain why the truck is black. And I'll also throw a little update on the Model A in there too, so stay tuned. All right, about to head out for about a 6-hour round trip, road trip to go get some cool parts I'm very excited about up near Sioux City. Almost. That might do it.
Try it. If not, now you're in. Cool.
Beautiful. Nice.
It's like downtown.
Yeah.
Yep. A little more. Yep. You gotta keep going. Beauty.
Awesome.
Now the car's on top of the stand. Or the hoist. Yeah. It's just we can't because now the weight of the engine.
The weight's pushing down. Yeah.
That sucks. Here it's in.
I'm impressed.
Don't hit the hooks hard. You don't want to wear that.
Right.
You're going home. Pretty sure of that.
Prefer not to. That's what I call a bad day. So that back there is a flathead V8, a 3-speed manual transmission with overdrive, and a bell housing for a flathead to mount an early Ford transmission to a flathead, which may be going on the Y block. We'll talk more about this when I get home. I shouldn't be driving and have my phone on. She's squatting pretty good. Poor old Honda doesn't like having a flathead in there and a transmission. All right, to get the engine out, I have to get the engine hoist far enough under the element to get the hook onto the engine, but the legs of my jack are hitting the suspension and not allowing me to go any further than that. So I am jacking up the element to get the legs underneath to be able to get the hoist where it needs to be. And I've really only got about 3/4 of an inch of travel, so I'm going to be here a while. Well, now I'm limited by this, not allowing me to go any further. I'm so close though. If only I just had a pickup truck, I could just, pull it right out of the bed and make life a lot easier. All right, well that actually went a lot smoother than I thought it was gonna go. It's out. All right, that's where it's gonna have to be for the time being. So that way it's sitting on the legs. I can kind of roll it around to get my mower out to be able to mow. because there's a 62 unibody sitting on the other side of that door, so I can't really go out that way. But for now, this will be here. I don't know if you guys probably haven't, unless you watched the live stream I did. Yeah, I picked that up dirt cheap, $400, I think it was. Guy said it didn't run. Doesn't run. He thought that the motor was blown. I did a compression test and it was all good. I put in a new starter relay and what do you know? Drives great. It's cool. It's a keyed ignition. It's got reverse, parking brake, full suspension. Thing's a blast, I tell you that much. Even has headlights and taillight and brake light. And it's hydraulic brakes. And the cutest little, I don't know if you can see them, disc brakes you've ever seen. They're down in there. That thing is a blast. My son, he just gets the biggest kick out of that. So what we have here is a 24 stud 8RT flathead. Pretty much the same as an 8BA. It's got a little bit different water pumps, different engine mounts, and it's got a little bit thicker engine casting and hardened valve seats because these went in the trucks and the 8BAs went in the cars. So other than that, it's pretty much an 8BA as far as I understand it. Maybe you guys that know more about flatheads could fill me in on that. It looks like maybe somebody had this running not all that long ago. I mean, this stuff doesn't look just absolutely crudded up. One thing I would be curious about, you flathead guys, if the 8BA heads will fit on an 8RT. I don't see why they wouldn't, but just curious because that opens up a whole world of possibilities as far as those cool period aftermarket heads. And that's jumping ahead. I know I've got to pull this thing apart and check for cracks in the block. It is a flathead. They were prone to that, so we'll do a video of that for sure. So I don't know if any of you remember from a previous video where I got this tri-power with the 3 big logo Stromberg 97s and the fuel manifold there. The guy I got this from, his name is Tim, and Tim and I have become friends after I bought that off of him. We've been talking and we've gotten to know each other pretty well. So Tim cut me a deal for the bell housing, the flathead V8, and it's not stuck, by the way. It is not stuck. And the Ford 3-speed overdrive transmission of the low price of absolutely free. That's the kind of guy Tim is. Obviously, I'm going to pay it forward. I'm coming up with ideas of something to do for him. And if I run out of ideas, I'm just going to throw him a bunch of money because it's just too nice. Well, the obvious question would be, will that flathead be going into this Model A? And for the time being, this banger motor is not stuck. I want to get that running as is and do some banger racing with it and just some fun. There's like the banger hill climb not too far from here, and then the banger racing at Vintage Torque Fest, and then the big meetup in Lincoln, Nebraska. I think I'm going to do some of that, doing this as kind of a hopped up banger, and then from there eventually go for some 32 rails and either use the Y block or possibly the flathead. We shall see. I just really want to enjoy this thing with the original 4-cylinder for a good long while before I do any of that. Just to get the full Model A experience with the Spark Advance and all that cool stuff, and just play with it like that for a while before I go pulling it all apart and doing some V8 stuff to it. What I'm gonna do with it, I'm not 100% sure. This is just going off to the side. It's gonna get used for something, that's for sure. We also have a bell housing for a early Ford transmission, which is right here, 3-speed overdrive early Ford transmission. That I originally wanted one of these because I have this aluminum period adapter to go to a Y block, so it would allow this to bolt to that.
to bolt to this. Yeah, there's still so much filler dust in here. I should cover that up.
So those of you that have tuned into my live streams know why the truck is black, but if you want to get in on the live streams, to my knowledge, the best way to go about that is to hit the little bell icon down there by the thumbs up. That will notify you when I go live. And I don't usually leave the live streams up for very long, maybe an hour or two, because I don't really want them to clutter up the regular uploads, because then some of the information can get redundant. And then I do a lot of talking to you guys, when you comments back and forth in real time and answer questions and things like that. And to go back and watch that later might be kind of boring when it's not actually live. So if you want to get in on the live stream, I believe the best way to do that is to hit the notification bell, and you will be notified when I go live. Part of me has thought about putting that flathead V8 into the 66 Mustang convertible and then make it look like it's all stock rather than using the 200 straight six. That would blow some minds at a Mustang show or a car show to walk up and see a 66 Mustang with a flathead V8. I don't know. I just think that would be something that would just stop people. It'd be kind of pointless, but it would be kind of cool. Because I don't know if I've ever seen a flathead in a Mustang. I'm going to Google it now. All right, so why is the truck black? Well, I listened to a lot of you guys after the previous episode that talked about using epoxy instead of just primer on bare metal. Even though the primer I was using was a direct to metal primer. Listen to you guys, that's why I like this. This is great. I love this YouTube thing because I can hear from guys that have been there and done it before. And did some research. And yes, even though that was direct to metal primer, epoxy is still better. So I went ahead, bit the bullet, bought some epoxy. I bought it in black. So that way when I do go over with filler primer, I know when I get down to the epoxy, when I'm doing the block sanding, getting the panels just perfect and everything. So really all I did was took the direct to metal primer that I mixed to a filler primer and kind of worked it back down to the bare metal and the filler, and then sprayed the epoxy, and then that's what it's at now. And I'm still working on the roll pan because the epoxy thing got in the way. The only thing I haven't epoxied yet, I've done the underside of the hood, both fenders, front and back, driver door. I still need to do that side of the truck, not this side, but the other side of the truck, the passenger door, and the tailgate. And then it will be fully covered in epoxy, and then we'll start doing filler primer, and then we can start talking base coat. And I'm now steering away from the two-tone Wimbledon white over Rangoon red and going into some other colors. And I don't want to say it in the video because my mind, it just keeps changing, and I feel like I'm painting myself into a corner each time I say what color, because I was so set on that Wimbledon white over Rangoon red, and then I just started, I don't know. It's one of those things. If you've ever painted one of your own projects, you've probably been in this situation where it just changes so constantly, and that's what I'm going through. I'm at over 6,000 subscribers now, which, thank you guys so much. That went really fast from 5,000 to 6,000. So that's gonna do it for this one, guys. Thank you so much as always. It is very appreciated, and I've got to go find a place to put this flathead because I'm running out of room. But anyways, guys, thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next one.